Tracking a series of storms as we round out this year and ring in 2023, and it's all about to get started here in the next 24 hours. The first one, a warm, wet storm as it heads in from the Pacific. It's got this warm moisture tap, and it's going to be not only a rainy day, but also windy. It doesn't get going, though, until late on Monday into early Tuesday. So as we celebrate the first day of Kwanzaa, rain and snow developing during the afternoon, but we started off with fog, our high at 55 degrees. Tomorrow really is a great day to prep for this series of storms heading our way. Things that we can do: checking our drains to keep clear to reduce the flooding, especially some of that localized roadway flooding. Travel, carry chains and an emergency kit. Check pressure and tread on our tires and plan accordingly. May want to reconsider outdoor activities, and I'm going to explain why in just a moment, especially any of those Sierra ski resorts. Perhaps you've got some travel plans up there. We get right into it. This is going to be another full week of holidays and celebrations here as we welcome in the new year, round out 2022 on a very wet note. Our weather changes developing throughout the week. Morning fog tomorrow, then afternoon and evening rain, snow, wind, thunderstorms are going to all combine into that Tuesday time frame where you can see I've got it in the red. That's going to be our major impact day. On Wednesday, lighter showers and lowering snow level. Lots of changes going on in the Sierra. Thursday through Saturday, still moderate rain, snow, and occasionally breezy as well. Tomorrow, we start off with areas of fog right up and down the valley to get back on that morning commute. That'll start up at midnight and last through 11 a.m. with visibility at times down to about a quarter of a mile. Multiple watches and warnings already out, and unpacking each of them. We get into first this high wind warning. That's in the Sierra. Gusts up to 85 miles per hour, but some of the Sierra ridges at 100 miles per hour. That'll be Monday night through Tuesday. A possibility that some of those ski resorts could actually close just for the day for safety reasons, especially on any of those lifts. Power outages possible due to downed trees and power lines, and of course, difficult travel. Also, a high wind watch in effect for parts of the Sacramento Valley with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Same category there. Downed trees, power lines, possible outages there. And then also difficult travel, especially along I-5 and Highway 99 traveling northbound out of Sacramento. Up in the Sierra, we've got a winter storm watch for Tuesday morning through Wednesday morning. Now, this is a really interesting story because we initially start off with rain at all of the pass levels, and then once that snow line starts to come down, that's where we're going to see a lot of changes unfolding for Tuesday with blowing snow, hazardous conditions, and difficult travel as well. Winter storm watch basically just meaning the pieces are coming together for a winter storm with heavy snow in the outlook. It's one of those things that we got to watch the forecast because this is very likely soon to turn into a winter storm warning. Some of the key categories here: rain in the higher category for impacts, as well as snow and wind. Travel is going to be in the extremely high category for impacts, and flooding will be a concern, mostly localized flooding. We're not talking about big reservoir flooding, but there are some rivers that are going to start to come up because of the heaviest rain that's coming in on Tuesday, and also that higher snow level. So we're going to find a lot of runoff coming down the hill. Snow is going to be heaviest Wednesday and Thursday, and that'll mainly start up later on Tuesday when that snow level starts to lower, and then we'll find that colder system coming through on Thursday. It's not particularly cold, like super cold. Snow levels around 3,000, 4,000 feet, but it's low enough to get it below the pass level. Wind is going to be strongest on Tuesday, and you can see how this is all starting to get going here overnight, Monday into Tuesday. Wind gusts start to ramp up at about 20 to 30 miles per hour, really peaking during the morning when most of us are probably asleep, but going to hear a lot of things knocking up against the house, the apartment, anything. That'll be when we're really experiencing that right through the morning commute. And again, those wind gusts in the Sierra are going to be relentless through the morning, finally dying down as we head into the afternoon. Now, in terms of our potential power outages, they're going to be most problematic for the Sierra, and you can see the impact zones here stretching all the way along the Sierra spine southward towards Yosemite, and that's when we have those higher winds as well. The timeline for the rain, I'm going to show you when it starts up, and then I'm just going to run it right through here because it just doesn't let up. The heaviest rain will be in the morning on Tuesday, and then we're going to see that right through the day with the chance of thunderstorms. But you'll also notice here just the color contours. The orange and the red are going to be the heaviest rain, and then in the Sierra, what we're going to find is mainly a rain event. It doesn't turn over to snow until very late on Tuesday. into Wednesday, but we still have that chance of lingering showers. Now, the snow line starts to drop because the cold front starts to come through, that cold air helping to destabilize the atmosphere, and that'll give us that chance of thunderstorms on Tuesday, with the main impacts being the heaviest rain as well as the gusty winds. We still have a chance of some small hail coming through as well, again, for our Tuesday forecast. Snow line, when this all starts, is at 8,000 feet. That's above the pass level, and for the most part, the first part of Tuesday, that snow line still above the pass level. Again, rain on snow means more runoff, and that's going to start to impact some of the local waterways down low in the valley, the floodplain, where everything just settles in terms of our water coming down the hill. We'll get a little bit of relief on Wednesday because we'll find that snow levels start to drop. But what that means on the flip side is that you're going to have a lot lower chain controls on Wednesday heading up the hill, and very likely lots of travel delays on that Wednesday forecast. In terms of how much rain we're expecting, anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches for the valley. That's just from storm system number 1. I'm not even putting into this category the next one that comes in Thursday into Friday. We'll find longer travel times, ponding on roads, rises on creeks and streams coming our way. Again, just Monday through Wednesday. Same for this year. Our snow will pile up to about 8 to 30 inches with change, travel, and snow level changes throughout the course of this first weather system. This is the time of year when we expect these big atmospheric rivers to come on through. Those are those big plumes of moisture. It's like a water hose just coming in from the Pacific. We really need them. We actually need roughly 5 to 6 big ones to come through to get that water up to head into the dry season. And you can see December, January, and February statistically are the wettest months for Sacramento. That was not the case last year. We absolutely dried out for January, February, and March and didn't get anything. So this is really nice to see this ongoing storm lineup for us here in the forecast. The unfortunate part of it, we are going to be near flood stage on a couple of monitoring sites along the Sacramento River at Tisdale Weir, and then along the Cosumnes River at Michigan Bar. Also, some of those creeks that are tributaries are going to be getting high. We'll be monitoring that as we head into our Wednesday and Thursday. Once we kind of see how everything flushes through the system, it's usually a little bit of a delay after the onset of rain for some of those rivers to come on up. So a look at the forecast for our reservoirs. You can see we're still only about 30 to 35% full. Plenty of capacity here to get those reservoirs getting some water in it. This isn't going to be a reservoir situation. This is going to be a very localized flooding situation. As far as our rainfall, you can see numbers look good, but when you look at the deficits, we're down roughly about 5 inches in parts of Northern California. And those are the areas that were hardest hit in the last drought. These are the areas that we need those atmospheric rivers to come through and really hit. Sierra snowpack actually looks good for this time of year. We're at about 135 to almost 200% of average. But if we weren't to get any more snow for the entire year, we'd only top out at 35 to 50% of average. That's our April 1st barometer. That's that marking where we say, okay, usually this is the time that we just don't see any more snow in the Sierra, and that will be our water for the year. This year, a snowpack providing 1/3 of our water supply through the dry season. So statewide, that average is at 152%, and a percent of April 1st is at 43. The long-term forecast looks likely cooler in the outlook once we get through some of these warmer, wetter storms, but it is going to stay wetter for the entire first week of the new year. These are the atmospheric rivers. This is the moisture coming in from the Pacific. The first one hitting on Tuesday. We get a bit of a break, but followed right behind it on Thursday, lasting through Friday and Saturday. Now, Saturday night into early Sunday, it looks like we are going to be drying out. The timing could actually be pretty good for this storm lineup for celebrating the new year. But right after that, we get going again with more atmospheric rivers. Looking at our mountain forecast, it is just going to be on and off rain and snow straight through the beginning of the new year. That is the same for the foothills and along the coast if you're headed towards the Bay Area to ring in the new year. Our 10-day forecast, well, there you have it. There is just not much break in this outlook except that window, like I said, looking at Saturday night into Sunday as we round out 2022 and welcome in 2023.